Hello everyone, welcome to BizTalks. In today's episode, we are going to talk to Joseph Lange, the founder of Fabuly, a mobile app that brings you the greatest classical novel and short stories in audio and text format. Joseph was working at Google for around 10 years before he decided to quit and start Fabuly. In this episode, you will learn about what inspired Joseph to start Fabuly, his marketing plans, and future goals. I hope you would really enjoy the show. Hi Joseph, welcome to the show.
Hello, Aaron. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. So, Joseph, can you tell our audience what Fabuly is all about?
So Fabuly, it's an Android and iOS application where you can read and listen to famous classics like Sherlock Holmes, Jane Austen, and many more novels or short stories. One of the aspects of Fabuly is that it's free to use, and you can also read and listen at the same time. So you can see the text while you're actually reading to the content at the same time.
Okay, all right. So, Joseph, let's go a little bit backwards. So, can you tell about your educational background and your work experience?
Yeah, sure. So myself, I am an applied mathematician. So I'm an engineer in applied mathematics. I studied in Belgium, but I also studied a little bit at MIT and KTH in Stockholm in Sweden. And then I worked for almost 10 years for Google as a software engineer in Zurich, Switzerland.
Okay, that's great. So, is Fabuly your first business, or do you have any other entrepreneur experience before Fabuly?
I don't have much experience. When I was 18 years old with my brother, we were working on a project, basically an invoicing software for lawyers. We had one lawyer who was using it, and she was really excited about the project, and we thought about maybe scaling it, but eventually we decided to go back to our studies and continue other stuff.
So, what inspired you to start Fabuly?
So for Fabuly, basically I wanted to build a business. So this was just something that I've decided for a long time. I was looking for a good idea, and we had several ideas, and then the idea of Fabuly came last year when I was doing a big trip around the world with my girlfriend. At some point we were in Japan, we were doing woofing, so we were in a farm in the countryside in the middle of nowhere, and we wanted to read some books, but there you would not find any book in French and even less in English. So I thought there are some public domain books that should be very easy to access on the internet or public domain audiobook, but I found the process quite cumbersome to find a good title, installing a reader app, and even just picking which book you actually want to read. So given all this friction, I had this idea of creating an application where accessing public domain literary works, whether in audio or text format, would be very easy and seamless.
Oh, okay. All right. So, so you just started it, or did you had any chance of validating the idea that you had?
Yeah, so I had several ideas of different business, and I was trying to validate those ideas. And the reason why I picked Fabuly is because I thought this was the most promising. So I did market research, looking at tools, doing competition research, looking at what already exists, and if there is an opportunity to do something impactful in that space. And eventually we launched the app in the Play Store and App Store. And at that point, we started getting reviews of users, ratings, and we got very positive reviews and high rating. And this encourages us to continue. The fact that we see that there are at least early adopters who really like the product, it was also a way to validate the idea.
Okay. So, Joseph, so as Fabuly continues to grow, I'm sure that you'll be hiring more developers, salesperson, and marketing team, and other team members. So, according to you, for a developer, what kind of qualities that you expect in a developer to join your team?
So, for me, what I'm looking for a developer, it's not the amount of stuff that they know, it's the ability to learn very fast, and also the algorithmic reasoning skills. This is also what we were looking for at Google. We were doing very technical interviews. And I believe that if a software engineer is able in one language to code very efficiently and to understand, to be able to solve complex algorithmic problem, they will be able to learn new language and new tools very easily. So I think this is really what I would be looking for a software engineer.
Right. So, and during our previous call, you mentioned that you're going to hire a few people in the September.
Yeah, so we just had another intern joining. So right now we have two amazing marketing interns in our team that are handling all the social media aspects of Fabuly, and also doing the editorial content selection, because there is a lot of work in picking the books, creating the new cover, etc. So there is a lot of quality management. So our team is 3 people right now, and we are going to hire an additional software engineer to join the team.
Okay. So currently you're taking care of the development activities in Fabuly, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm taking care of the technical aspect, but soon we have another person to help with this.
Right. Okay. So what kind of marketing strategies are you planning to follow in Fabuly to get the word around and acquire users?
Yeah, so I was talking before about getting out of my comfort zone. So this is the part where I was originally not so comfortable, and it's still not my strongest point. And we are exploring different funnel. This is a B2C app, so it's very difficult to get noticed, and there are several funnel that are possible. One funnel is social media and influencers, trying to get in touch with influencers, trying to get influencers to talk about the app to the right people. And this we are doing. We are in touch with influencers to talk about the app, and we are trying it out. But it's too early to say if this would be a promising funnel for us. There is another funnel which I think is very promising, is SEO, ESO. So get noticed in the search result. I believe in the case of Fabuly, it's very important, because we want that if someone is looking for an application to listen to public domain works and to classic books and audiobooks, or with the text and audio synchronized, we need findable either on Google search or on the Play Store. So we are doing some work of SEO to write blog articles, explain what we are about, doing collaboration with other websites to get some backlinks to our website and getting some legitimacy. And I would say those are the two main funnel that we are exploring.
Right. So, so getting it listed in the first page in Google, I think that will give a very high visibility for the app.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what everyone wants. Everybody wants to be the first result on Google. The thing is to identify some keywords which are specific of what Fabuly delivers that other apps do not deliver. And in that case, it's possible to rank first or to rank among the first results because we believe that for some specific problems, we are the best solutions. But we cannot rank first for any very generic keyword. Of course, it's a very competitive aspect. Yeah.
Right. Are you planning to use Google Ads for marketing purpose?
Yeah. So we also trying this. We use Google Ads and Apple Ads, and this helps us to get a user and to get feedback. I would say the cost of acquisition of Apple Ads and Google Ads is a little bit high for us right now compared to the lifetime value of what we get from what we can get from the customers. But we are doing it, yes. Right.
Who is your primary target audience? Like, what age group are you targeting for this app?
What we noticed is a lot of people on Fabuly, they are older people who have a lot of time, and they want to take the time to explore classics, and especially in the audio format. So this is what we observed. We think that this application can also be good in other for other persons. So, for example, some parents gave us the feedback that so at least 4 different persons told me that their kid used Fabuly to read, and they found it really enjoyable to read and listen at the same time, to learn to read, and that could be also another target potentially at some point.
Right. Actually, my daughter was also trying Fabuly, as I mentioned before. Yeah, she loves reading a lot of books, so she was interested.
Yeah. So I think you mentioned this to me, but you are not the only one. So I got several positive feedback on that aspect. So yeah, this could be quite nice, I think.
Right. All right. So in Play Store and in App Store, it is easy to get the customer feedbacks immediately. So when a user uses it, they just give the rating and then post some comments. So can you do you have an experience where you saw a customer feedback and that drove you to make some changes in the application? Do you have any such experience?
Yeah, in the first version of the application, we were releasing a very early version, which was lacking a lot of features, and so we reacted to comments from users. So, for example, many users commented that they wanted to be able to change the playback speed, which is actually super important, and we didn't even have that in the beginning. So then we just added this feature because we noticed that many people wanted it. And in the beginning, also many people were complaining that there are really not so many books. And so since then, we have been adding more and more books, and now people are less complaining about this.
Right. Okay. So, and currently I see Fabuly is completely for free for all the users. So do you have the plans of monetizing it? At what point are you planning to monetize it?
In the next 1 or 2 months, we will introduce a new version, which is the premium version. Everything that is free will stay free. I think in general, it's good that if we give something for free, then we don't make people pay for it later. So this will stay free, but then we will add new capabilities. So one capability that we will add is the ability to download offline audiobooks and be able to use the app without the internet. For that, you will need a premium subscription, which would come, for example, in the US at $1.99 per month.
Okay, all right. So you have raised funds currently from investors. So how was the fundraising experience?
The fundraising experience for me was pretty good and pretty smooth. I think I got lucky. So we had some really great business angels who were ready to support us. We have 5 different business angels, and then we also got subsidies. Significant subsidies from the French government. So we applied for those subsidies. They liked the project and they decided to give us some funds to finance this project. So overall, it was very smooth. And on that aspect, things went pretty good. Now we should be good for at least 1 year very comfortably, and potentially even much more. Hopefully until we can be profitable or until we are beginning a new run.
All right. So what kind of support does the French government gives for businesses like Fabuly?
So the French government is trying to incentivize a new tech business. I think it's part of the strategy of the government. I don't want to speak on behalf of the French government at all, but my understanding is that they would like to encourage innovation, and especially tech or deep tech innovation. And so those subsidies are part of those programs.
Oh, okay. All right. So apart from the actual funding process, do you expect any kind of other things from investors' perspective, like in the case of marketing or using their personal brands to get Fabuly to a larger audience, like that?
So the most important aspect to me from an investor is the trust, right? It's the leap of faith that they are doing. They are giving the money and then to the business, and they know that after that they will not have the ability to completely control the business. And I think it's important to have some kind of trust with the investors, and that they are not like very complex contracts that they can claim the money back anytime if they are not happy. It's a bit a leap of faith. They say, we give you the money and then you have to go work on this idea and do your best, right? After that, on top of that, I think that each investor is different and they can bring different things on the table. So having a variety of investors is also good. One of the things they can bring is networking. Some other things could be technical knowledge, even like some people are just experts in their field. And some of our angel investors, they are working in big tech and they have really a lot of knowledge, especially about AI. So this is also some other qualities that we have with the investors at Fabuly.
All right. So where do you see Fabuly in the next 2 to 3 years time period?
So hopefully profitable. I think that would be great. That we manage to finance ourselves through the premium subscription. That would be really amazing. And in terms of the application itself, we just want to add content. So there should be many thousands of public domain works in any format, so text or audio or both, and in as many languages as possible. So that's the goal.
Okay. So do you have to negotiate with a lot of publishers to get the books copyrights and then publish it in your app, or how is that? Is it easy, or is it a bit difficult?
Yeah, at this point we are using public domain works. So this means that we don't have to pay the rights for books that were written a long time ago, right? So if you have Sherlock Holmes, Jack London, these kind of books, they are in the public domain, so you don't have to pay the license. And right now we are focusing on those works. So at this point, this is not an issue, and this is also why we can give away this app for free, entirely for free at this point, and with a premium version, which is very cheap, because books are free of rights. If we want to expand the content, we will of course have to work with publishing houses who are the ones with the rights and the ability to give us license in specific countries for specific work.
Yes. Do you plan to add non-fictional books in the future?
Yes. I think non-fiction, it's a little bit more difficult to find really compelling one that are in the public domain, because non-fiction, it's a bit lifestyle or philosophical reflection, thinking, things like this. And at the time in the 19th century, if you would read non-fiction from that time, might sound, I don't know, a bit backward or weird, and I would say that it didn't age so well as fiction books like romance or even adventure. I think those books, they actually maybe get even better, like with time. I don't know, they always look so great and so well written, but if you look at non-fiction, it's a little bit different. So for non-fiction, maybe that would be good to work with publishing house and try to see if we could get some that are a bit more recent.
All right. Okay. So Joseph, we'll get into some general questions.
Yeah.
What is the best piece of advice have you ever received in your life?
Something that's driving me is one saying is, if you can't do something about a situation, about an issue, just forget it and don't think about it. And if you can do something about it, and do something about it now.
Right. Yeah, that's great. So, can you suggest our users one of your favorite non-fictional books?
So what I really like was the book Sapiens. I think this is really great. Step back about history, humanity. Really enjoyed it.
Okay. So do you read a lot of books personally?
Yeah, I read some books, like mostly fiction, but not only. I also read some non-fiction, but mostly fiction.
Okay, all right. So, what is the most important productivity tool or productivity hack that you use on a daily basis?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, yeah. Everybody uses that now. Yeah. I think for content writing, it is great. All right. So, what is the most important quality that, according to you, an entrepreneur should possess in order to be successful?
Persistence. Just never stop going.
Right. Yeah. What is your favorite hobby or a leisure time activity that you have?
So since COVID, I started doing a lot of bicycling.
Okay. So, as a sports or as a leisure time activity that you do?
Yeah, as a sport. We do some trips sometimes with the family. So in July, we went from Belgium to the south of France.
Okay.
With the bicycle, it was really great. Every day you would see the landscape change and get dry. Yeah.
Right. All right. So, all right, Joseph, we have come to the end of the interview. So, it was a pleasure talking to you. I think our viewers will also be very much interested in watching this video. So I'll provide for those who wanted to try Fabuly, I'll provide the link of Fabuly in the description. And Joseph, thanks for taking time on your busy schedule for talking with us. And we wish you all success for many, many years to come.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Joseph.